FreeBSD reviews, tutorials and gaming.
The installation of GhostBSD really hasn't changed for the last few good releases. You boot into the live session, be that a USB stick or a DVD. Once you've booted in, then you can start the installation process. The minimum requirements for GhostBSD are listed as a Pentium 4 or higher, 1 GB of RAM, 20 GB of hard drive space, a network card, sound card, and an NVIDIA 3D accelerated video card. I think we can meet that. Right. Looks like we're into it. When I tried this on the real hardware install, the Ethernet wasn't working and I couldn't get the Wi-Fi to work, so I think, oh, there's a little red mark on there, so let's have a look. We'll enable it. And this is where it didn't work before. Yep, it's working now, I think. This is where I went wrong before. It just would not enable it. It just wouldn't come on, and nor would Wi-Fi. So in the real hardware install I was stuck. Right, let's start the install. And first we'll get the country and language selection. Choose English, of course. Okay, English UK. Yeah, we'll just go with that, and we'll go down to Europe. Look for London. Yeah, there. Next. UFS, because it's a lighter system than ZFX and it'll run better. Yeah, well, let's increase this to 1 GB. It seems awfully small for a swap partition size or swap file size. Yeah, just 1 GB. There's 4 GB of RAM, so I mean, I'm not going to be doing anything that will swap it out. Put system password. Super weak. I'm only going to be using this for this session. Name. RoboNuggie. Leave that like that. Leave it like that. Password again. And I'm going to change this one into SH, which is the default user shell for FreeBSD anyway. It's something that I'm used to. And that's it. I've always liked the installation process of GhostBSD. I always think it's a very elegant and very easy on newcomers. You know, there are worse examples in a lot of operating systems installation that you can find, but the GhostBSD one has always been polished, always been really easy on the nerves, I think. We'll fast forward this so we don't. I won't put it through the torturous installation. It is a little bit slow at normal speed. That's because it's loading in the full desktop, and we're nearly there. Once it's done, we'll start looking at some of the changes since 18.10. Well, there's not that many changes. There's one or two smaller items, but the main ones that stuck to me were Octo PKG is replaced by Software Station. We'll have a look at that later. We've added GhostBSD drivers and GhostBSD utils, and upgraded packages in the system to the latest ones available. And we'll see an example of that later on. Here we are on the desktop of GhostBSD 18.12. This is the latest. It's almost a point release, skipping 18.11, and there are only a few minor changes. In particular, the most noticeable one perhaps would be the drop-in of OctoPKG in favour of Update Station, and a few minor tweaks and updates of available packages. I was going to review this on real hardware, on my usual system that I run FreeBSD on. I have a hot swap drive bay, which I pop in a spare hard drive when I want to test an OS, and then just obviously go to boot selection and boot off that instead. But this time I installed GhostBSD, and it would not pick up the networking, the Ethernet, or no, really wouldn't work with the Wi-Fi either. Even when I changed system to an old Dell desktop that I have lying around, that wouldn't pick up the Ethernet on that as well. And I know that one works because that's run previously Ubuntu and more recently a test of Windows 10. So I know that the Ethernet on that works fine, and the Wi-Fi also works fine. So I don't know what's going on with GhostBSD 18.12. 18.10 worked flawlessly when installed on real hardware. 18.12, he didn't like it. So I've had to do this particular review on a VirtualBox, which is not ideal, but it's be enough to get the job done. I need some kind of internet access in order to do it. So anyway, let's get on with it. Nothing much has changed, as I said earlier. Aesthetically, it's the same as it was. But we'll have a look at the install applications. I normally don't do this. With something like FreeBSD, you install what you need, and so it's a bit trickier to actually review FreeBSD. With something that comes as a complete package, as GhostBSD purports to do, then I review the choices made by the developers. So we'll go on to applications, and you've got accessories, education, graphics, internet, office, sound and video, and system tools. Places, desktop, computer, network, connector server, mate search tool, and recent documents. And then you've got a system tab, which is then preferences, administration, control center, about, lock screen, log out, and shut down. Then to the right over there you have your network settings, audio, and the date. On the time as well. It's all pretty standard. It's a good interpretation of the Mate desktop, or Mate desktop. But we'll go down, we'll have a look at what's available. Under accessories, you have character map, Engrampa, GVim, calculator, font viewer, search tool, got Plank, Pluma, a root terminal, take screenshot, Vim, and XF burn. Included XF burn. Actually, I know they used to get an XF CE choice of desktops on GhostBSD previously. But it's interesting that they kept in the XF burn. In education, again, you've only got LibreOffice Math, so there's not changed there from last version. Graphics, I have made. LibreOffice Draw, make color selection, and Shotwell. Shotwell's quite a nice graphics tool. Let's have a look. Yeah, Shotwell's really nice. You got internet, you got obviously Firefox, GhostBSD IRC, HexChat, Pidgin, Thunderbird, and Transmission. And Office, you got a Trill PDF viewer, LibreOffice, the base program, and then of course you got LibreOffice Base, then Calc, Draw, Impress, Maths, and Writer with the dictionary at the bottom. Sound and video, you got Cheese, Exhale, Gnome Player, Pulse Audio, Sound, and XF Burn. You got Kaja, Cups, Deconf Editor, GhostBSD Bugs for reporting anything you might find, Log File Viewer, Mate Disk User Analyzer, Usage Analyzer, System Monitor, Terminal, and Power Statistics. We'll have a look at the System Monitor in the moment. 816, well, that's kind of average for Mate. Like I say, I mean, any unused memory is wasted memory, so there's a lot of processes going on. Yeah, okay. Using FreeBSD 12 current. Wonder why they're not using FreeBSD 13 current. That's strange. You got places. I've done that one. No, I haven't one. You got places, home folder, desktop, computer. Under education, most and tools. I've done all that. Power statistics. Right. So yeah, I mean, it's. If you right click on the desktop as previously, you can create folder, launch, create a document, open a terminal, organize desktop by name, keep aligned and change background. I'm not going to do that. Under your system you've got preferences tab, which then leads to various different parts of the system and hardware that you can tweak to suit your own needs. And under administration you've got Software Station, which is the replacement for OctoPKG, and Update Station, which presumably updates the system. We'll have a look at those two in a minute. And Control Center, which really just replicates the choices on these two menus. About the version 1.20.3. And lock screen and log out, blah blah blah. But we'll have a look at the control center, and we'll go to Software Station now. Password. The Software Station replaces OctoPKG. There we go. Look, it's populated itself quite quickly, which is good. I don't know what they've used as the underlying engine behind this. I don't know whether or not it's still OctoPKG, but they've tweaked it or something else. But it looks okay, it looks good. I like the fact it populated itself quickly. It was actually quite quick. You didn't have to manually refresh it, which is good. But then you got do you know, that's interesting, Russian. It's actually got individual that's really good. I like that. You can see Polish and Portuguese. That's really good. I might have perhaps put them under different languages, but that's only nitpicking. So you've got Arabic, archivers. I'm not going to read the list, but pretty much everything that you're used to on if you've ever used the package manager in FreeBSD, the layout will be pretty much familiar. What can we install as an example? Well, GIMP's not installed, so we'll try GIMP. Can't go wrong with that. So you just type it in, and you should search for it. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. So, is it real time? Yep, I like that. It's actually looking for keywords as you type, so it doesn't wait for you to press enter. I like that, that's pretty good. GIMP and GIMP app. I won't do any plugins. Let's apply. It's not the quickest, but then that's my internet, I think. But overall, I am actually quite impressed by this new Software Station. It is a lot better than OctoPKG. OctoPKG is fine. I think it was created as a way of a graphical package manager for FreeBSD and GhostBSD. But it never really... In FreeBSD, it doesn't sit right, because FreeBSD really has never had a graphical package manager. It's the terminal is where you install and overall manage your packages or ports. So it never, in that particular instance, it never felt right. GhostBSD, it was always a bit. a bit clunky, I think, to for want of a better word. In this instance, though, I actually like Software Station. I think it's very slick. It's fast. Let's see if it's installed. Yep, there's the. So which version are we putting in? 2.8, I know, but. Oh, 2.10. Very nice. So it's more or less the latest version of GIMP that's been available. Yeah, I'll change the theme later, but that's very good. Oh, I'm not sure. See, the dark theme blends in, and yeah, that's better. I'll quit that. Yeah, very impressed. Okay, we'll have a look at the update station. So I'm very impressed by the Software Station. Very, actually, quite like that. It's very good. Okay. Update station. No updates available. No, it's a shame. Mind you, it's just been released and I've just downloaded it, so there shouldn't really be that many updates, but that's good. So far, I have given GhostBSD a bit of a ragging in the past. Apart from the trouble I had trying to get Ethernet working on real hardware, and having to review it in a virtual box, which I didn't really want to do this time. So far, I'm actually quite impressed. Speed-wise, and especially the Software Station. The rest is pretty much standard. It says Tweak Station there, maybe in line with the new Software Station and Update Station. Maybe it should be called Tweak Station. Yeah, that's a little tip for you developers if you want to change the name of that. But that's the same as it was before. Yeah, well, that's enough of that one. So overall, I mean, there's not much I can say other than what's available elsewhere on YouTube and what I said in previous videos. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's 305 megabytes active. Which is not bad. It's reasonably lightweight. Of course, I did this installation on UFS. If I had to put ZFS as the base, which is, I think, the default which it switches to when you make an installation, automatically selects ZFS as the default file system. If I'd have done that, then more memory would have been consumed. But UFS is relatively lightweight, and it doesn't demand much of the operating system. So as you say, it's 285 megabytes now, which is very good. FreeBSD and FreeBSD derived operating systems do manage their memory very well. I'm not saying better than Linux or like that, but it does manage its memory very well, and so you're not going to see a great deal being consumed. But yeah, okay. It's a small release from 18.10. There are some changes. Some of them are smaller than others. It does add to the overall smoothness of the system. Yeah, so I'm quite impressed. Would I recommend GhostBSD? Yeah, I still recommend GhostBSD to new users. If anyone's asking, they want to try a BSD and they find it a little bit daunting that FreeBSD is a command line only and you have to install. Yeah, I recommend them. I say, look, go and try GhostBSD or even TrueOS, which is going to be, Project Trident now. But GhostBSD certainly, and it has a lot of. There's still a little bit of polish needed. Not much though, and all I've ever wanted to do is have a version of GhostBSD which worked for me. But I've always had little things that have either spoiled it for me or prevented me from using it myself. I mean, it could be my hardware, but the issue with the Ethernet works via VirtualBox over the same you know, it works via NAT, default setting on VirtualBox. It works over the hosts on Ethernet now, but if I was to install GhostBSD on real hardware on the host itself, it doesn't work with the Ethernet, which is peculiar. The Wi-Fi, it didn't work, so you know who knows what's going on with that. But I tend to want to use Ethernet anyway, so. But overall, yeah, not too bad. And I kind of look forward to the next release of GhostBSD. Okay, this is a review. It's not an in-depth review. It's a kind of a quick look because I really wanted to use real hardware, but that's just the way it goes. Anyway, I'll catch you next time, and thanks for watching.